Welcome into the Murphy Center, the site of this TSSAA Class 2A semifinal state tournament matchup between the Gibson County Lady Pioneers and the York Institute Dragonettes. I'm Noah McKay on the call, back here on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network, joined once again by my friend Jacob Vincent. Tonight's broadcast presented by Faith Baptist Tabernacle in Jamestown. As we sit about 10 minutes away from tip-off here, we welcome you into the Hall Sports and Outdoors pregame show. Hall Sports and Outdoors, gigantic supporters of the York Dragons and Dragonettes, but they are a regional-wide company. Everything from your uniform needs, the best firearm sales, apparel, and everything in between. Embroidery. They handle it all there in-house at Hall Sports and Outdoors right on Main Street in Jamestown. And let's get into this matchup. It is a dandy. Two elite girls basketball teams going at it here today. First up, the Gibson County Lady Pioneers with a record of 36 victories to 1 loss under head coach Mitch Wilkins. They're coming in off a 58-49 victory over Huntington in the first round of this state tournament yesterday. With their opponent, the York Institute Dragonettes, with a record of 27 victories and 5 losses under head coach Michael Green. They got it done in dramatic fashion against McMinn Central in overtime, 66-63. The Dragonettes trailed by 10 at halftime and ended up coming back to win that game on the heroics of Reese Beatty. And once again, we have a battle between two Miss Basketball finalists, as it is Reese Beatty taking on Micah Hart, number 3 in blue and red today. It is a must-see matchup. It's why people will fill this gym today, Jacob Vincent, and whoever plays best may be the team that gets onto the state title game.
Yeah, I mean, this is a monumental matchup, and we're coming off of a massive game between the top two teams in the 1A classification in that first semifinal between Pickett County and Moore County. As Pickett County was able to win that game, but Gibson County coming in on the year 36-1 on the year, only 1 loss. And that loss on the season was to Crockett County, 46-40. That team went 21-9 and actually fell to South Gibson in the Region 7 3A semifinals, 33-31. They have beaten everybody else that they have played. They have 4 wins against Westview. They've beaten Bartlett, who was in the 4A now state championship game. Greenfield, Jackson Southside, Crockett County, South Gibson, and Huntington. The wins have piled up for this Gibson County team. They have played a strong schedule. York Institute has also played a strong schedule. They got the huge win yesterday in overtime. And Rusty, big credit to Rusty, because he said we're going to need to see Reese Beatty here in this state tournament. And we saw her absolutely take over the basketball game against McMinn Central, and her best friend in Molly Massengale in that game as well in the quarterfinals. Had 33 points in the ball game. 15 in the fourth quarter alone, 3 more in overtime, and what a win it was for the Dragonettes. Now, these two teams, they met a couple of years ago. The first time that the Dragonettes had been back to the Glass House in quite some time, met in the quarterfinals. It was a 3-point win for this York team, 53-50. We'll see if that plays into factor at all. Obviously, 2 years ago, 2 completely different basketball teams, but you said it. 2 Miss Basketball finalists on both sides. Micah Hart had 27 points in her first game. Reese Beatty, 33 points in her first game.
We're live on the main UCR Facebook page and YouTube channel this evening as we gear up for the second of 3 semifinal games that we have broadcast coverage of. Of course, later on tonight, the late game, 8:45 p.m. tip-off as the Upperman Lady Bees take on South Gibson. But all eyes right now on the York Institute Dragonettes against Gibson County. The lovely Madison McKay also producing things for us as we sit about 7 minutes away from tip-off. You mentioned Reese Beatty. She was so good yesterday. 33 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, a couple of steals. They simply don't win that game if she doesn't do that. But it can't go unmentioned. Emma Pyle especially.
Correct.
2 critical threes in that third quarter that got them back in the game as they raced down on a big run. It kind of really took the steam right off of their opponent yesterday, McMinn Central, because they went in with all that momentum and they took it away in the first couple of minutes of that third quarter. Emma Pyle was huge. Callie Franklin with a couple of big buckets as well, 8 points a day ago. And Rayleigh Warner picked up 3 fouls in the first kind of quarter and a half of the game, and Coach Green left her on the floor. She rewarded him. Didn't pick up another one the rest of the game.
Yeah, they were down by 10 points at halftime. They came out to a 5-0 run to start the second half, and Emma Pyle hit a huge 3. Emma Cooper hit a big shot as well, and then a timeout spurred there by McMinn Central. But York was into the basketball game at that point, and it wasn't Reese Beatty as much in that third quarter. She had 13 points in the first half, only 2 points in that second quarter, and you said it at halftime, needed some help from the supporting cast. Emma Pyle had a couple of big shots. Emma Cooper a couple of big shots. Rayleigh Warner some big shots in that third quarter. And then Reese Beatty said, all right, I'll take over here in the fourth quarter of action. 15 points in that fourth quarter, able to get it to overtime, and had a chance at the end of regulation to win it. They go to overtime. They get the win in overtime anyways, and now York trying to get back to that championship game that they got there 2 years ago. They faced the champions last year in the quarterfinals and fell to that team in Westview. Now trying to get back to the championship game, but it's going to be against a really good Gibson County team that I mentioned. 36-1 on the year. They are used to playing in this state tournament. We talked about that a lot with Upperman last night. 17 state tournament appearances now for Gibson County. It is also 6 straight state tournament appearances. They have won 3 gold balls, most recently in 2019, and they're trying to get back to the championship game, making their 5th appearance in the championship game.
York was able to get over the hump. Of course, we're in the state title game 2 years ago, lost to Westview again in the first round last year. They get back here, they get over the hump. But this 2A classification, probably the most balanced of any classification, top to bottom. All the 8 teams in this tournament belonged here. They were all very talented, and certainly all the teams left all have a chance to hoist a gold ball. The winner of this game gets the winner of the next game on this floor. Gatlinburg-Pittman taking on Loretto. This is a loaded classification. You don't have any of what we talked about before in the 1A classification, the de facto state championship game. Even if you win this one, you're going to have a tough test tomorrow, whether it be against the Gatlinburg-Pittman Lady Highlanders, who already have a win over York, albeit back in the very first game of the season in overtime. It feels like years ago. Or Loretto, the Mustangs, a very good team. They're here year in and year out as they bumped up here to the 2A classification. 4 minutes away from tip-off. So let us know in the comment section who you are, where you're listening from, and who you're cheering for. I imagine it's going to be a very partisan Dragonette faithful crowd. And I imagine not a ton of people tuning in from Jamestown particularly, because as I look up,
they're here.
They're all here.
Everybody's
on our
here.
opposite side here, there is a packed house here and a decent student section here for Gibson County as well. They were loud a day ago in their win. There'll be a lot of eyes from around this state tuned into this game because of the Miss Basketball finalist matchup that you've got between Reese Beatty and Micah Hart. And Micah Hart, 27 points against Huntingdon. Huntingdon, I don't think you may have expected them to win a state championship, but they performed pretty well. Gibson County had to earn it, 58-49. So both these teams had a tough test. Neither one of them got to coast a day ago in this tournament.
Well, you look at all the quarterfinal scores, nothing was more than 9 points. That was that Gibson County score. They won by 9, 58-49. Of course, York wins by 3 in overtime. Gatlinburg-Pittman only beat Smith County by 8. That was a great game plan by Smith County. Were able to keep it in it and had it as close as about 4 or 5 points late in that game and ended up falling 54-46. And then Loretto beats Westview 54-49. So there was a lot of parity in this 2A classification right now and a lot of very good basketball teams. And you said it too. You looked at the teams and you expected the top 3 and probably McMinn Central, Gatlinburg-Pittman, York, and then Gibson County is that 4th team. And you've got Loretto on the other side as well. So this is going to be a really, really fun matchup in this one tonight. And whoever wins this one is going to have an even tougher matchup in the championship as well, because Gatlinburg-Pittman and Loretto are both really, really talented ball clubs. So if you win the 2A state title this year, you got one heck of a basketball team.
One thing is going to get put to the test, and that is the endurance of Reese Beatty today, because she got bullied a little bit yesterday, just beat up on, and
36
physical.
minutes.
She played the entire game. She scored, as we mentioned, the 33 points, but she was splitting double teams, getting hit inside, getting hit outside, and it was an overtime game. So we know she's very much in shape, but now having to bring that same level of intensity against as good of a team, if not even a better team in the form of this Gibson County Lady Pioneers team, Reese Beatty, hope she got her ice last night, because they're going to probably need another 32-minute performance out of her today.
I bet she slept well. I bet she slept really well. And, of course, it helps being a little bit later of a ball game here today as well, a 4 o'clock start time. And, again, we'll start actually still just a couple minutes before, because the games earlier today ended so much earlier than what we're going yesterday. And we're going to knock on wood, just to hope that these games continue that way.
We like that for later.
Yeah, we'll be back here a little bit later tonight for the Upperman Lady Bees in South Gibson. But, yeah, to your point, she played all 36 minutes yesterday, and they needed her for all 36 of those minutes because they've been running about a 7-man rotation. They only used about 6. Zoe Gibson got a few minutes off the bench, and she was about the only bench player that got good minutes in the game yesterday.
That was the Hall Sports and Outdoors pregame show. Let's get to the Birdies Lounge starting lineups. First, for the Gibson County Lady Pioneers under head coach Mitch Wilkins with a record of 36 victories and 1 loss. Their first round victory was 58-49 against Huntingdon. Number 2, Akira Riding. Number 3, Micah Hart. Number 4, Sanaya Reeves. Number 14, Georgia Lanham. And number 30, Maya Turner. Their opponents tonight, the York Dragonettes out of Jamestown, Tennessee, under head coach Michael Green with a record of 27 victories and 5 losses. Their first round victory, a dramatic one, 66-63 in overtime against McMinn Central. It's number 0, Emma Pyle, the Miss Basketball finalist. Number 1, Reese Beatty. Number 2, Callie Franklin. Number 25, Emma Cooper. And number 35, Rayleigh Warner. Once again, the Birdies Lounge starting lineups for the Lady Pioneers: Riding, Hart, Reeves, Lanham, and Turner. And for the Dragonettes, Pyle, Beatty, Franklin, Cooper, and Warner. We're sure glad you're hanging out with us here on a Friday afternoon. What better place to be than at the Murphy Center? This is the best office in America that we have tonight as we have 3 games. We just saw the Pickett County Lady Bobcats punch their ticket to the state championship game in dramatic fashion, erasing a 13-point first quarter deficit to defeat Wayne County. They'll play tomorrow at 3:30 against Moore County. York hopes to play tomorrow after that game at 6 o'clock against the winner of Gatlinburg-Pittman Loretto. But first up in their way, a one-loss Gibson County Lady Pioneers team.
This game is going to be much lower scoring. Both of these teams absolutely hang their hats on defense. Gibson County is only allowing 32 points per game. And we've talked about, when you look at those numbers, sometimes they're a little bit inflated, underinflated, overinflated. That is a true 31.7 points per game that they have allowed because they've played a very good schedule. And then for York as well, only 36 points per game given up this season. Of course, skewed a little bit yesterday, or 2 days ago, with the 60 points that they allowed to McMinn Central, or 63 points, I should say. So offensively, about the same. 59 points on offense for Gibson County per game, 54 points per game for York Institute. But it doesn't matter when you have Reese Beatty and you have Micah Hart. Those two are going to be battling in this one today, and we're looking forward to it. Micah Hart, a 2,000-point score. Reese Beatty on her way to being one.
The Gibson County Lady Pioneers, the road team on the scoreboard. They are lined up to our left with their bench across from Media Row. They're in the powder blue jerseys and shorts, red numbers and letters outlined in white trim. The York Dragonettes, the home team on the scoreboard. They are on our right here as you're looking to them from Media Row. The home white jerseys, white shorts, purple numbers and letters with York across the chest and gold trim. I'm Noah McKay, joined by Jacob Vinson, the lovely Madison McKay producing things for us today. Today's broadcast presented by our friends at the Faith Baptist Tabernacle in Jamestown. We appreciate them for helping us out and being here this week. A lot on the line, a spot in the 2A state championship game. York trying to get back there and finish the job. The Gibson County Lady Pioneers trying to make their 5th appearance all time in that championship game. We're going to have a lot of fun today from Murfreesboro.
York has won 14 games in a row. They're trying to get back to the championship game, see if they can win their first title since 1984. Hey, Pickett County got to the championship game. They're going to have a chance to win their first since 1989. York going to try to do the same thing for the first time since 1984 today.
Starting lineups have been introduced in the gym, and we are set for action here on the floor of the Middle Tennessee State Lady Raiders and Raiders.
Gibson County team, they've got some size in there. Sanaya Reeves, she's listed at 5'11". She's probably closer to 6 foot.
Chance. She's 5'11". She is taller than 5'11".
Micah Hart, a senior at 5'9", and this is they've got some seniors, some sophomores. They're kind of spread out. This one's going to be fun.
Cooper against Reeves in the circle. Lead official walks it in, throws it up. Let's get it on in the Murphy Center in this Class 2A semifinal round matchup. Micah Hart will possess as Gibson County opens up on offense. And Reese Beatty is waiting. That's the matchup everybody wants to see. She works off a screen right side. Beatty fights through and the trap arrives. Beatty gets in and swipes it away from Hart. Beatty in the front court. Now Reese puts a couple of dribbles down. Turnaround shot contested. Doesn't matter. Reese Beatty good for 2.
And a better start than she had yesterday. Missed her first 3 shots at the basket. That time he was in traffic. She got a steal and a bucket and a good start for the Dragonettes.
They set the screen over on the elbow and Pyle just went right over it, as did Beatty, and it forced the turnover. Now Gibson County trailing by 2 in the half court. Flip pass back out to Hart. She's guarded by Beatty. That's the one-on-one. Hart drives and kicks out to Reeves in the right corner. Reeves, as they work left to right on your screen as you visualize it here. Lady Pioneers basketball, riding with it. She sends over right side back to Reeves. Reeves into the low block. Pyle there defensively. Gets a hand on it as it's swiped back out, but picked up by Riding. Akira Riding driving inside the lane. Now forced back out by Callie Franklin. York loves to play man-to-man defense. They couldn't do it a ton yesterday. They're doing it early here. In the low block, turnaround shot blocked. Pyle got the swat, rebound down, and it's Rayleigh Warner who escapes with it. Rayleigh Warner now pushing it in transition, now inside the three-point arc, reverses floor for Pyle. Now Beatty, wide open, Reese Beatty for 3. No, just a hair deep, and Pyle and Reeves got in there for the rebound, and Emma Pyle going to pick up the first foul of the game.
Yeah, it was right on line and just a little bit too strong. That one off the back of the iron, and Pyle, she got her money's worth on that foul. Has got into Sanaya Reeves on it, battling for it, but good start, especially for Pyle on that defensive side. That was a really good block at the start of the game.
They've changed the scoreboard in the Murphy Center to put the names up on it. I don't know if that was the case for the last game, but thank God it is. I think it was, but they didn't have the names up yesterday, and that was a nightmare as they send over right side, especially when you didn't know who was playing, watching some of these other games. Deep 3 for Hart. That one no good, missed left, but an offensive rebound extends the possession here for the Lady Pioneers. Now Beatty going to tie it up. And that'll be a jump. Lanham had it. Beatty got a hand on it, and the arrow belongs to the Dragonettes.
How lucky are we? We got Reese Beatty against Molly Massengale yesterday, and you could throw Karina Beastry in there as well. And then today we get Reese Beatty against Micah Hart, and quite possibly could see Reese Beatty and maybe Maddie Newman in the championship game.
Beatty crosses the timeline, fires for Rayleigh Warner, now left wing side. Warner into the corner for Pyle. She hit those 2 critical threes in the third quarter to spur the comeback. Reese Beatty had 15 in the fourth. Fires in Emma Cooper on the low block. Gets to the spot. Missed it, though. It was a great look. Tipped out of play, and it'll stay with York. That's one that just didn't fall for Cooper inside.
Just a little too deep. She got kind of near the underside of the rim. Tried to go up with the left hand and just threw it over the rim. Almost got her own rebound, but keeps the basketball underneath after it went out of bounds.
Takes a while for York to start moving, but Warner does get it in over the top to Callie Franklin. Franklin gives off to Beatty, now left side Pyle. Pyle flips back across right side. Beatty, now Cooper from the free throw line. Reverse feed, left side Warner. Rayleigh Warner for 3. No off the front of the iron. Micah Hart goes up for the rebound. 2-0 here in what we anticipate could be a low-scoring affair. Hart drives up towards Beatty. Now works off a screen inside. No. Disrupted by Cooper. Another offensive rebound, though, as they kick it out and reset. Pulling it back is Akira Riding, the guard. Now she sends back left side. This time it's Turner. Maya Turner into the low block. Trying to drive and kick. Tied up. Now Hart floats up in the mid-range. No good. Rebound down. Grabbed by Pyle. Another empty possession for Gibson County.
They're doing a really good job on Hart. Anytime she touches, 2 defenders come to her. Every shot she has taken has been a tough one.
Here's Beatty. She gives off to Pyle. Now claps. It's intercepted. Micah Hart read it the whole way. Now trying to drive on Beatty. Hart goes up strong and finishes. So we've had a steal and a score for Beatty, now a steal and a score for Hart.
Yeah, that one just telegraphed a little too much from Emma Pyle. Beatty was asking for it, and Hart just read it perfectly, stepped in front. Good defense by Beatty, didn't pick up the foul, which was the important part, and a better bucket by Hart.
So far, the Miss Basketball finalists are letting them play. A little bit handsy, but nothing too aggressive on both ends. Now a pass inside looking for Beatty. It was shielded off, though, out of play. Back-to-back turnovers as Pyle couldn't get it in clean. Possession back the other way, and that's going to prompt a sub in for Coach Green. Pyle just needs a little bit of a breather. Zoe Gibson will check in.
Yeah, Zoe Gibson will come in. A couple of errant passes from Pyle. Beatty was trying to work through around a screen in the low block that time. She would have been open if Pyle waited just a half second longer and probably would have had an open layup. Instead, it goes out of bounds as the pass was a little too far out in front of her, but a tie game with 4.5 to go in the first still.
Now in the half court, here's Gibson County as they send back for Hart. Micah Hart works off a screen right wing side, now picked up by Gibson, steps through inside, throws it up, no. Offensive rebound again as there's a scrum for it on the floor. It's loose. Gibson County has it reversed back out to Turner. Now baseline pass. Shot thrown up, that was contested. Again though, fight for the rebound. This time Emma Cooper has it and saves it for Reese Beatty.
They're letting them play.
They are letting them play, and also Gibson County winning on the boards early in a tied up game at 2. That's something Coach Michael Green will want to change. Beatty picks up her dribble, steps it over left side for Franklin. Franklin now gives back left for Zoe Gibson. Gibson to Beatty. 3:45 to play in the first quarter. We're tied up at 2. Past the midway point. Franklin fires into Cooper. Power dribble. Emma Cooper tries to step through. Maybe got away with a travel. Instead kicks out. Gibson's 3. That one was partially blocked. Rebound down Gibson County. Swiped by Warner. Rayleigh Warner no good. And it is a football game right now. And finally we have a whistle. It's going to go against the Dragonettes as it's getting very physical down there on the floor. See who the call's against. I think it's going to go to Rayleigh Warner.
Yeah, Warner first. Picks up her first, and yeah, they were letting them go for the first 4.5 minutes, and now that one a little too much. You said it, it was a football game inside, and Rayleigh Warner picks up her first.
Hit that like button and share the stream as people know they can watch on the Facebook page and YouTube channel here in this Class 2A semifinal matchup. Callie Franklin steps in the passing lane, picks it off, now in a foot race. Franklin wins it, throws it up. What a play! Callie Franklin stealing the score, and so far it's points off turnovers for both teams. 4 of them for York, 2 of them for Gibson County.
That was a really tough finish as well between 2 defenders with a little bit of contact, but they let it go and she finished anyways.
Riding with it now, she gives off. Hands back to her. York, they can play man today. They're going to stay in man as long as possible. Driving left side, Turner. Turner underneath the baseline, up and under, and a foul. Emma Cooper going to be called for a personal. That's her first, team's 3rd. Gibson County still not called for one. Trip to the line to shoot 2 coming for Maya Turner.
Well, if you'll remember from their quarterfinal game, Emma Cooper was in foul trouble, ended up fouling out with a few minutes to play in the ball game, and that time really wasn't in a bad spot. The defender, the offensive player came into her, creating the contact, and it picks up the foul anyways.
First one for Turner is good, yeah, and Coach Green, I don't think happy with that call at all. He said Cooper went straight up. He's right. 2:46 to go in the first. Gibson County trying to tie it with Maya Turner. Free throw up and good. 2 for 2 at the charity stripe. We're tied up at 4.
An unorthodox kind of form there. She goes up on her heels and then shoots the basketball.
2:40 to go in the first as Rayleigh Warner will run the point on this possession. Sends right wing side for Emma Cooper. Now Gibson in the corner. Zoe Gibson puts the dribble down. It's poked from her. Micah Hart, that goes out of play. It'll stay with York. 2.5 to go in the first.
Yeah, you can tell Reese Beatty and Micah Hart, they're just another level out there on the floor. And this battle is going to be really fun.
Hart a senior, Beatty a junior. Both back here in the glass house. They're becoming very comfortable here. As Beatty sends left side Rayleigh Warner. Now kicks Gibson. Going to trigger the corner three. This time wide open, but it's too strong off the back iron. Rebound down to Turner, and a chance for Gibson County as they try to take their first lead of the day. And Pyle, after that breather, returns to the table. Just needed to take a deep breath over there and get back rolling. Here's Riding. Waiting is Franklin. Now she sends off right side Turner. Floating into the low block. Cooper with already one foul. Allows no room to breathe. They kick back out to Turner. Turner now gets free in the mid-range. Throws it up with the left hand. No. Warner tips the rebound. Cooper able to wrestle it away. Now Emma Cooper going to put the dribble down. Tries to get it back to Warner. Now Beatty turns around and brings it across the timeline. Reese Beatty with it here in the half-court offense for the Dragonettes. Warner puts the dribble down. Now fires inside. Gibson for the easy lay-in.
That was a really nice pass by Rayleigh Warner. Got right to the middle of that zone defense, and wide open was Gibson on the left block. Nobody picked her up. She was able to put it up and in for 2.
6-4 our score as Turner brings it across the timeline here. Turner walks across the screen left side. Now real aggressive handsy defense. Driving inside. Shot blocked and the foul. Cooper, no doubt about it, chopped down on Riding, and that is the second. Emma Cooper in foul trouble for the second straight day. She's going to be forced out of the game here. 2 free throws coming for Akira Riding.
No reason for that foul as well. She's got the size advantage on Riding. Riding was going to have a tough shot. She's falling away, throwing it over her backside, and it may have gone in. It may not have gone in. If it does go in, you give a tip of the cap. Instead, you pick up a foul, and now there's points at the line as the first one does fall for Riding.
First one is good. Annabeth Dunford checking in for the first time, and now there's no size out there height-wise for the York Dragonettes. They don't have a lot of it to start with, but when Emma Cooper's out of the game, it disappears nearly entirely. Second free throw, no good. York maintains a 1-point lead. The exact opposite of yesterday for both these teams.
Yes.
They will bring it up in a low-scoring game.
I think this is what both these teams are comfortable with.
Pyle lines up the deep three. No good. York trying to get it rolling from downtown. Riding now showing off the speed off the long rebound. Riding throws it up. Good and one. Pyle fouled her. Now Emma Pyle has 2. And Riding going to go to the line to try to complete a 3-point play. Gibson County with the lead, and York's in foul trouble. And that's when you just got to let it go. You can't chase down. There's a huge speed advantage there for Riding, and Pyle committed the foul on the way up. And now she's going to be very careful. As Coach Green knows, he's got to leave her in the game. Free throw good for Riding, and now it's a 2-point Gibson County lead.
Yeah, especially with Emma Cooper already on the bench with 2 fouls, you got to give her at least a little bit of a break, and hopefully you can get to the end of the first without picking up your third on anybody. Only trail by 2, though.
Fires pass, that's tipped and intercepted. Hart picks it up. Now she sends over to Riding. Riding, though, couldn't corral it. Out of play. It goes back the other way. I'm a bit surprised. Right now, Reese Beatty not touching the basketball very much for York.
It's going to change right now. He's going to inbound the basketball to Beatty, and she will bring it ahead. It's been a couple of turnovers.
They run the point a lot with Warner, but right now in this state tournament, it's Reese Beatty time. Warner with it off the feed from Beatty, left wing side. Riding, sticks her hand in there again, nearly forces the turnover. Warner has it back, works away from the trap. It's not a double dribble. Gibson County wants it. It was knocked out of her hands. That's a totally legal play. 16 seconds to go in the first, and Beatty going to hold for the last shot. Beatty sends left side back to Warner. Warner fires one into the chest of Beatty. 6 seconds. Beatty with a crossover. There goes Reese. Bounces left side. Warner. Corner 3. No good. And the buzzer will sound at the end of the first quarter. After 1, it's Gibson County 8, York 6. As we head to the break. This is tonight's broadcast presented by the Faith Baptist Tabernacle in Jamestown. And you're listening to it on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network. The Race TN Series is coming to Cookeville on March 23rd. See the best indoor and ATV motorcycle racing on the dirt at the Heidelbergs Ag Center, with practice starting at 2 and main heat starting at 6. Pit passes are just $20, so make your plans now. Want in on the action? Pre-register at racetnseries.com. That's racetnseries.com. For more information, visit RaceTN Series on Facebook and Instagram. The most exciting ATV and motorcycle racing goes down on March 23rd at the Heidelbergs Ag Center for the first time ever. Don't miss it.
Buckeye Home Medical Equipment, serving you since 1984. For all of your in-home durable medical equipment needs, including oxygen, CPAPs, BiPAPs, power wheelchairs, and so much more. Convenient locations across the Upper Cumberland. Visit whybuckeye.com today for additional store locations and information.
As we enter the second quarter of play here at the Murphy Center, Gibson County leads York 8-6. Low-scoring first quarter, but York is into foul trouble. Emma Pyle and Emma Cooper with 2 fouls apiece. Just 2 points for Reese Beatty. She didn't touch the ball a whole lot in that first quarter, Jacob.
Yeah, and I guess that's a good thing for York right now. And defensively, you're playing all right. They've only given up 4 points off of field goals. 4 more points came from the free throw line. So you shore up those foul calls, play a little bit better defense, and then give the basketball to Reese Beatty and just let her go to work. Again, they're going up against a zone defense, so it's a little bit different. It's not a man-to-man, so they are going to have to move the ball around.
Beatty with 2, Hart with 2. Now a deep 3 for Gibson County. No good. Long rebound. Beatty runs it down. Now is the foot race. Reese Beatty into the half court, goes up strong and gets the call. Shot doesn't fall, but Reese Beatty to the line to shoot 2 at the Guffey Law free throw line.
And I think it's on Micah Hart. It is. Micah Hart picks up her first foul. That is the first foul on Gibson County here in the second quarter. And Beatty at the Guffey Law free throw line for a couple of shots. Really good job drawing that contact, keeping the basketball away, not allowing it to get stolen away, but misses first. Misses on the first.
That's the first foul of the game called against Gibson County. As the first one no good, as you mentioned. Fell right. Beatty flies away the second, and that one is good.
Must just be that Upper Cumberland basketball. They just play tougher or something.
They do. Something like that.
And they win.
First of all, they do, but
more physical.
There's a reason we have 1 state championship game tomorrow and could have 3, depending on how the next 2 games we have go. Into the low block, Hart with it. Maybe these other teams just play perfect defense, Jacob. They work it back over. Left wing side, Turner tries to cross over Warner. Drives in, lowers the shoulder, turnaround shot. No, well defended, but an offensive rebound. Put back blocked by Rayleigh Warner. It'll stay on that end with Gibson County, but several offensive rebounds for the Lady Pioneers have been a difference in this game so far. Yeah,
so far they've got 3, make it 4 offensive rebounds, and they get the basketball after it went out of bounds again.
Hart now driving in. Micah Hart throws it up awkwardly. No good. Rebound down. This time Cooper back in with those 2 fouls. Has it, and she is held. A foul will be called on Gibson County as they try to trap Emma Cooper after the rebound. This one going to go on 4. That's Sanaya Reeves.
Yeah, they didn't like the foul call, and they actually have 5 offensive rebounds now for Gibson County, 10 on the ball game. Gibson County fans not liking that call. There's 3 defenders around her. She has to be able to at least move and take a step. She was not able to do that. That is why the foul was called.
Beatty crosses the timeline, calls the play, and sends it right side for Warner. Warner into Pyle at the free throw line, spins back Franklin. Franklin to Pyle again, reverses for Warner. Rayleigh Warner now fakes 1 pass, now finds Franklin on the left side. Franklin reverses for Pyle, now into Beatty. Beatty in the mid-range, she loves to operate there. Little turnaround jumper, clinical, good for 2 more. York back in front.
You watch the highlight video from their win in the quarterfinals, and it almost looked like a Reese Beatty highlight video because of so many shots like that in the mid-range. Turnaround, crossover, step over, whatever you want to call it. She's able to get it up there and rattle them home.
Now they send over a handoff pass. York trying to disrupt. Michael Hart double teamed. Every time she touches it, there's 2 Dragonettes looking at her. She gives back to Turner this time. Turner goes to work on Rayleigh Warner. Drives into the low block. Now fires back Reeves. Reeves trying to back down Cooper. They want to attack Emma Cooper and Emma Pyle as they each have 2 fouls. Now in, working against Pyle. Turnaround shot blocked out of play. Emma Cooper got a paw on it. 6:04 to go in the second. A 1-point Dragonettes lead.
And defensively, they're playing much better. They're staying straight up inside. Again, they have a little bit of a size disadvantage, but Emma Cooper is in there and doing a good job staying straight up.
Inbound, that one was tipped by Cooper, but it went right out into the waiting arms of Hart. Hart off a screen, triple team. Gives back left side for Riding. Riding starts to drive, now fires for Turner. Turner goes into the low block, left-handed lane, no. Rebound down, Callie Franklin goes into the lane of the trees and has it. Now steps through, finds Pyle, and Rayleigh Warner will bring it up. Warner across that timeline to stop the 10-second clock. 5:40 to go in the second quarter. It's 9-8. Pyle with it left wing side, now finds Beatty again in the mid-range. Skies up for two, and she's got it. That's the soft spot in the zone. It's also the hot spot for Reese Beatty. Two more for her.
And I hope we have a picture of that one. Rusty is down there. There were 4 defenders circling around Beatty. She rose up through all of them and was able to knock it down.
She's in scorer mode in this tournament, and they need her to be. 5:18 to go in the second. For years we said, Reese Beatty could score 35 a night if she wanted to. She may do that in this tournament as we go on. Riding drives inside. Franklin with a little bump to the back. It's going to be 2 more free throws for Akira Riding. The first personal on Callie Franklin, and that one definitely a foul.
Tell you what, Akira Riding may be a difference maker in this ball game, especially if as good a defense that York is playing on Micah Hart. Akira Riding has so much speed as she's been able to get past Callie Franklin. And Callie Franklin's pretty quick, but Riding is really, really fast. Misses on the first free throw.
The first one pops out there, and the problem is you can't put Reese Beatty on her because you have to have Reese Beatty on Micah Hart. It's part of the reason this Gibson County team has won 36 games already. Second free throw is good for Riding, and it's back to a 2-point game. You feel great if you're York holding them to 9 points through the first 13 or 11 minutes or so, but you only scored 11 because they're great on defense as well. Pyle works at left side, Warner. This time, Hart is staying with Reese Beatty. Warner now puts the dribble down, back out to her.
They switched it a little bit here with that zone.
Now she gives back for Reese Beatty. The Gibson County students like the defense. Beatty picks up her dribble. Got to find an outlet somewhere. Now fires back door, and it's intercepted. Picked off, and here comes Turner ahead. Maya Turner for Gibson County fires the pass left side to Hart. A deep three, no good, in and out. Rebound down to Beatty, and now we've got a little tempo. Reese Beatty running the point with her eyes up, slows down as she sets up in the half court. Beatty flips over for Cooper. Cooper shields off the defender. Beatty, deep three for her. That one's no good as well. Rebound tipped. Can they save it? No, it goes out of play, and it'll go to Gibson County.
It didn't look like Emma Cooper touched that one last. Micah Hart was trying to save it from going out of bounds, but they do give it to Gibson County.
I didn't think so either, but I didn't have a great view on it. 4:14 to go into the second quarter. It's 11-9 in favor of the Dragonettes. Akira Riding with the basketball. She's got 5 points. That leads them in scoring. Hart trying to get free from Reese Beatty, who's just stuck to her. Now they give outside. Lanham. Lanham reverses floor to Reeves. Gibson back to the table for York. Baseline drive, shot thrown up. Good. That's a tough take. And a nice finish inside for Georgia Lanham.
Yeah, Georgia Lanham, her name hadn't been called a whole lot. It wasn't called a whole lot in their first game as well. Only a rebound and an assist. That was her first points here in the state tournament.
11-11. It seems like Gibson County, their game plan, get inside and try to force some free throws and one opportunities. Rayleigh Warner picks up her dribble. She's running out of time. Finds Callie Franklin. Left side now back to Reese Beatty. Beatty picks up her dribble, finds Franklin. In the corner, wide open is Emma Pyle. She triggers the three, no good, a bit too strong. Rebound down on a good box out. Turner came away with it. Now here's Hart. We're tied up at 11. Hart, flip pass ahead to Riding. Franklin picks her up on the baseline. She lost it off the back of her foot, and it'll go to the Dragonettes with 3:07 to go in the second.
Well, and for York, it's a tie game right now, but you actually feel really good being tied right now because you have not shot the basketball well from outside. You haven't been able to hit a three yet. You're 0 for 3 from downtown. Beatty's first couple have looked pretty good, and Pyle's first couple have looked pretty good. They're actually 0 of 8 from downtown to start this game.
Crazy. And still tied up because this is a low-scoring nip-and-tuck battle. 11-11 as Rayleigh Warner crosses the timeline. Nobody picks her up. She walks up, thought about the three. Instead gives off to Franklin, now right side Gibson. Gibson, her and Dunford just checked back in. Now over to Warner. Dunford post up on that free throw line. Now kicks out to Beatty. Reese Beatty trying to get it rolling from three, and she got it. A birdie's lounge three for Reese Beatty.
8 points here in the quarter, already into double figures. She's got 10, and like I said, at some point, those shots are going to start falling. They're a really good three-point shooting team, just their first make on the night.
3-point, Dragonettes lead. Reeves sends back over, right wing side, Lanham. Riding, being stuck to a little bit more here by Franklin. Now right side to Turner. Beatty has switched off and is guarding Turner. Hart being guarded by Rayleigh Warner. They love Warner on defense. Kick out pass to Lanham. She triggers the three. It's offline. No. Good box out from Zoe Gibson inside. And York with an opportunity to stretch it to a couple of possessions with 2 minutes to go in the second.
Yeah, that was a great box out on Sanaya Reeves, not letting her get anywhere near that basketball.
Rayleigh Warner now working off that secondary logo here at the Murphy Center. Back to Franklin. Franklin with her eyes up. The potential trap is there. Gibson open on the low block. They don't get it there. Instead, Warner drives and kicks to Gibson, who floated back out into the corner. Gibson finds Beatty. Beatty just outside the three-point arc on the left wing side. Dribbles down, Riding steps towards her. 1:35 to go in the second. Beatty calling that closely guarded as she gets a screen. Beatty triggers the three off the dribble. Good. Look out. Another Birdie's Lounge three for Reese Beatty. 11 in the quarter, 13 in the game.
Now, offensively, they're starting to feel it a little bit. Defensively, have been great, only allowing 11 Gibson County points so far with 1:15 to play in the first half.
The best player in the state cooking for the York Dragonettes. It's 17-11 and a timeout called here by Coach Mitch Wilkins. A full timeout on the floor. And right now, York got to feel pretty good because the best player in the game is starting to really get it rolling. Two straight threes for Reese Beatty.
Yeah, York was struggling offensively in the first quarter. We were kind of talking about, hey, you think maybe give the basketball to number one. They've given the basketball to number one, and she has put up 10 points already in this second quarter. She has 13 now on the ball game, actually 11 points in the second quarter and 13 on the ball game. She has been tremendous. They've been playing really good defense. The other thing they've done a good job of, they haven't fouled here in this second quarter. Now, still 1:08 to play in the second quarter, and you got to think that's a point of emphasis here for Gibson County to try to get it inside and create some of that contact.
I want to say thank you to Lefeview Excavating and Lawn Care. Chad Lefeview there helping us out with the sponsorship of this broadcast. You can call Chad at 931-510-5806. That's Lefeview Excavating and Lawn Care. Appreciate them very much. It's very expensive to be down here all week, and we'll do it again next week with three more Upper Cumberland teams, Gordonsville, Upperman, and Cookeville. We will have, of course, broadcast coverage of Cookeville and Upperman here next week, and website coverage of all of them as the boys' state tournament gets started next Wednesday. We also have baseball stream starting on Monday night, so much more to come on that. 1:08 to go in the second quarter out of the full timeout. York with a 17-11 lead, and it is Reese Beatty with 14 points already for the Dragonettes.
I should have gotten an apartment in Murfreesboro for the last 2 weeks.
You ain't kidding. 13 points for Beatty. I misspoke, but Riding going to bring it up here. Sends over left side. Trying to solve this man-to-man defense into the low block. Turnaround shot good. Cooper out of the game with those two fouls along with Pyle. So that allows Sanaya Reeves to get inside with a mismatch and finish. And here comes a little pressure as Reese Beatty has her eyes up the whole way.
Yeah, a little 1-2-2. She stopped right before the half-court line and threw it ahead to Warner.
Warner, backdoor pass for Gibson, who going to float back out, sends it to Reese Beatty. You're probably wise to try to hold this for the final look and ensure they go into halftime with the break. Or with the lead, I should say. 32 seconds to go in the second. And you've got Riding standing right in front of Reese Beatty. Warner gives back to Gibson. Now Beatty goes to work. Flip pass back to her. Beatty, step back three. It's a heat check. No good. Rebound and a foul. And this one's going to go on Annabeth Dunford for an over the back, trying to get that rebound. But it's just the first foul of the quarter. First foul of the game against her. No real problem there. 18.6 seconds to go and a chance for Gibson County to cut it to a possession heading into halftime.
Yeah, if you get a stop here for York, you feel really good going to halftime. Up by 4 points, and then also the people that you had in foul trouble aren't going to be in foul trouble starting out the second half. Emma Cooper and Emma Pyle with 2 fouls right now out of the game, so they cannot pick up a third. 15 seconds to go.
12 seconds left as Micah Hart brings it across the timeline. She's got just 2 points so far. Reese Beatty done a job on her defensively. 2 screens for Hart, works it right side. Hands back to Riding. 3 seconds. Riding flips over to Hart. Hart pulls up. It would count if it goes. It does not. And brings us to the end of a very defensive first 2 quarters of play here in this Class 2A semifinal matchup. At the break, it's York 17, Gibson County 13. We'll be back with the Hall Family Pharmacy halftime show. Coverage of this game presented by the Faith Baptist Tabernacle in Jamestown. You're listening to it on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network.
Sonia Brown is a full-service realtor and is licensed across the state of Tennessee, listing and selling residential and multifamily, land and farms, commercial and industrial properties. Sonia handles the sale from start to closing and beyond. Let her put her 30-plus years of experience to work for you. Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate has been supporting student-athletes in the Upper Cumberland since 1990. You can reach Sonia Brown at 931-979-7145. Sonia Brown, realtor with American Way Real Estate, is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Raise your glass up high, gonna celebrate.
Fire and Vine in Cookeville is the Upper Cumberland's home for delicious Chicago-style pizza, beef, chicken, fish, and more. Located in Cookeville's historic downtown district, Fire and Vine's food and atmosphere will keep you coming back for more. Take in stunning views with creative food and drinks on the rooftop. Fire and Vine is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Clint Connor is your local auctions expert. With full service from start to finish, the Exit Crossroads Auction Group are here to make the process easy for you. Visit crossroadsauctiongroup.com for more details and current auctions. Clint Connor, your local auctions expert, is proud to sponsor this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Delicious Pan Pizza is Domino's best kept secret. With locations in Smithville, Sparta, Livingston, Allgood, and 2 in Cookeville, Delicious Pan and hand-tossed pizza, pasta, and more is never far away. Use the Domino's app to take care of your game day eats today. Domino's is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to support student athletes and athletic departments throughout the Upper Cumberland. They're also proud to sponsor the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game on this broadcast. From trophies to t-shirts, they can do it all. Stop by and see them at 120 Circle Drive in Allgood or give them a call at 931-537-9559. Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to sponsor this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Frontier Chevrolet is ready to get you into your next vehicle and are proud to offer a lifetime powertrain warranty on nearly all vehicles below 80,000 miles. View inventory online at www.caseychevy.com, including the brand new Chevy Trax and Traverse, or stop in at 2350 Cookeville Highway today. Remember, don't buy till you see Jason Fye.
TLT Sports Performance is home to skill-specific training where top athletes learn how to reach their full potential. Visit TLT Sports Performance on Facebook for more information. TLT Sports Performance, where the athletes of tomorrow train today.
I'm looking for someone who can keep me comfortable, stay here for the long run, and definitely not high maintenance. Not right. Absolutely not. This one looks perfect.
Find your perfect match with Hiller. Get a free UV light with select new HVAC systems, 50% off a descaler with new tankless water heaters, or free surge protection with a new whole home generator.
Like that one too.
Hone and develop your skills on the court with professional basketball player development from Legacy Athletics. Call 931-303-3356 or follow them on Instagram at legacy_athletics or on Twitter at jwinningham25 for more information today. Legacy Athletics, proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Steel Technologies has been part of the Rutherford County community for over 35 years. Their plants in Murfreesboro and Smyrna include over 150 teammates who process coils, metal sheets, and planks for customers across North America. Steel Tech's Smyrna and Murfreesboro plants are expanding, and they need teammates to join their team. With openings including machine and forklift operators, truck drivers, and more, they have the position for you with competitive wages and monthly bonus opportunities. For more information and to apply online, scan the QR code on your screen now. Steel Tech is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Steel Tech. Faith, family, Steel Tech. From the sports field to the hunting field, our friends at Hall Sports and Outdoors can outfit anyone. Located in the heart of Jamestown at 207 South Main Street, Hall Sports and Outdoors carries everything from kayaks, fishing gear, and camo to guns and ammo. With top brands such as Columbia, Timberland, Under Armour, Asics, and much more, nobody can top their selection. Need some custom gear for your team? They also offer uniforms, gear, and custom embroidery. Stop by and see them at 207 South Main Street in Jamestown. Hall Sports and Outdoors, proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Welcome back. It's time for the Hall Family Pharmacy halftime show. Hall Family Pharmacy, there to serve you with locations in Clark Range and in Jamestown. They care deeply about our community. Should be your one-stop shop for your pharmacy needs. And listen, they got great gift shops there as well. So the Hall family as a whole really cares about our entire Upper Cumberland community. That's why they're such huge sponsors to us here at UCR, particularly there in their backyard. But stretching beyond that, if you're from Sparta or Spencer or up at, Byrdstown or as far west or as Lebanon or even Smith County. Make sure you check out Hall Sports and Outdoors and Hall Family Pharmacy, because these are local community folks that really care about our community but can give you big-time service and great deals as well, especially in that gift shop. They always have great sales going on there. We appreciate them for their sponsorship of us on this game. And at the break, it's 17-13, York with a lead over Gibson County. Really, it's Reese Beatty 13, Gibson County 13. There were some rumblings out there that Gibson County would have the ability to slow down Reese Beatty. That's a resounding no, but it has been a defensive battle at this point, just a 4-point game, and this one's very much up for grabs.
Absolutely. It was a really good first half defensively for the York Institute Dragonettes, and if it weren't for Reese Beatty, they'd be struggling a little bit offensively as well. But right now for the York Institute Dragonettes, they're 7 of 18 from the floor, which isn't great, 38%, but Reese Beatty is 5 of 8. She has been really, really good in that first half, and defensively, they're only allowing Gibson County, a good basketball team, 21% from the floor. Nobody has more than one made shot from the field. And more importantly, Micah Hart, the other Miss Basketball finalist, 1 of 7. She's got 2 points, 1 rebound, and 3 turnovers in that first half.
Yeah, and if the Bulls didn't have MJ, they wouldn't have won 6 championships. York is fortunate they do have Reese Beatty in this game, the junior guard. She's cooking. They'll need somebody else to step up, though. They had that yesterday. Unlike yesterday, they're not down 10 at the break. It was a couple of other players in that third quarter that really stepped up. They could be looking for more of the same here in the second.
One thing for Gibson County, they haven't made a sub in the first half. We'll see if that changes in the second half. They really only bring in one player. Kaylee Davidson will come off the bench and actually scored 6 points in 10 minutes of play in their quarterfinal matchup, but that one kind of a close ball game as well. This one, they've gotten really good minutes out of Zoe Gibson and then Annabeth Dunford, who came on. You're going to have Emma Cooper and you're going to have Emma Pyle as well. The 2 Emmas coming up in the second half, who picked up 2 fouls in that first half. One number that Coach Green is not going to like, though, 6 offensive rebounds given up to Gibson County. Saw that with McMinn Central in the quarterfinal as well. They're going to have to shore that up in the second half, something they did in the second half against McMinn Central, which got them back in the basketball game. Now you're up by 4. You have to keep that defensive pressure up, and you have to rebound the basketball. See if you can't get the offense going a little bit, too.
Our website coverage is on fire right now. Story and photo gallery from Pickett County's big-time victory over Wayne County earlier on today is now live on UpperCumberlandReporter.com. Make sure you check that out. We'll have coverage of this game and, of course, our last game later on today. One more semifinal matchup. We'll have broadcast coverage and website coverage as the Upperman Lady Bees take on the South Gibson Lady Hornets with an 8:45 p.m. approximate tip-off later on tonight at the Murphy Center. We're going to have to get some caffeine, go get some food, and come back here and get ready to go. But one half of basketball to be played here in this Class 2A semifinal. The winner gets the winner of the next game, Gatlinburg, Pittman, and Loretto, tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the AA State Championship game. York with a 4-point lead. They'd like to stretch it. Gibson County, they're trying to get their Miss Basketball finalist. Micah Hart rolling so far, just 2 points from the field. That simply will not get it done for the Lady Pioneers, but we know she is capable of exploding at any time.
Well, a really good thing that York is doing in that first half, of course, Reese Beatty is a really good on-ball defender, and Rayleigh Warner is as well. Those two are staying on her the whole time, and then anytime she touches the basketball, somebody is helping off of somebody else, and they are making every shot difficult. She has not had a straightforward shot yet in this game. She's been fading away both sides. She's had contested three-point jumpers. She has not had an easy basket to go in this ball game yet.
York will inbound there in white and purple. They're the home team. Gibson County in powder blue and red. York working left to right on your screen as you visualize it here at the Murphy Center. I'm Noah McKay, joined by Jacob Vincent. The lovely Madison McKay producing things for us. We welcome you in here for half number 2 as Reese Beatty in the mid-range triple team. Backdoor pass to Rayleigh Warner. No good. Hit every part of the rim, but she got her own rebound. Kicks back to Beatty. Back over to Warner, off the dribble. Warner drives and kicks. Callie Franklin open 3. That one's no good. And another rebound by Rayleigh Warner. And Reese Beatty, standing just about 6 inches in the half court, grabs it. Into Cooper from the free throw line. 2 offensive rebounds for York on the possession. Cooper reverses to Warner. She puts the dribble down, floats back out. Now right side, Emma Pyle. Thought about lining it up. Instead, tries to get it to Cooper. It's tipped. Now a tie-up. Cooper wrestles through. One dribble down and got called for a travel. Possession goes the other way.
Yeah, she got tied up initially, ripped that first one away, but then she spun into a double team, and she was trying to rip it away, not allow it to be a jump ball, and in the process, lost her footing and her balance and turned it over.
17-13 to score. Gibson County trying to get it back to a possession as Akira Riding has it. Works away from a screen, left side, drives, throws up the shot. No, well defended by Franklin. Offensive rebound for Reeves, loses her footing, but it went right to Lanham. Her shot won't go. Reeves with another offensive board. Now that one, a foul. Cooper swipes down, And Emma Cooper now has 3. The offensive rebounds really hurting York on this end. And Sanaya Reeves to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, give up 7 offensive rebounds in that first half. 2 more right there, and the 3rd foul on Emma Cooper. Got a lot of basketball, but anytime you come down on the basketball on a player who's going up to shoot it, you're going to be called for a foul.
It better be really blatantly obvious that it's clean. That time it wasn't, and quickly Cooper back out of the game. Zoe Gibson in. First free throw for Reeves is good. Next one, flown away. No good. Rebound down to Rayleigh Warner, and it's still a 3-point Dragonets lead. Warner working on Turner. Little aggressive defense. Warner now has some space to operate. Warner with a crossover, drives in, kicks to the corner. Emma Pyle looking to get it rolling. No off the back rim. Beatty goes up for the rebound, and Reese Beatty muscles through and a foul. Reese Beatty, too strong inside. The first one called on Gibson County. This one goes on 2. That's Akira Writing, her first.
Really good rebound by Beatty in there. She said, you know what, we're going to give up offensive rebounds, and we're going to try to go get some offensive rebounds.
Franklin inbounds, wide open. She has it in the corner. Franklin now back to Rayleigh Warner on the left wing side. Little head fake for Warner, crossover move, working on Riding, and she lost her footing. Possession back the other way. Here's Micah Hart pushing it in transition for Gibson County. Hart, step back 3, low line drive, and she got it, and we're tied. Micah Hart with her first triple sends the Gibson County students into a frenzy. We're tied up at 17.
Well, it's the first time she's got a little bit of space. Just that little side step to the right, fired it up there and knocked it down. Good looking shot.
Rayleigh Warner, it's been several possessions since Reese Beatty's had extended play. Pass tip, but it goes out to Franklin. Beatty now comes out to get the pass, and they will clear out a little bit. She sends left side Warner, now into Pyle. Pyle dribbles back to Rayleigh Warner. Warner into the teeth of the defense, throws it up, no good. Rebound down, Micah Hart with it. A chance for Gibson County to take the lead for the first time in a while. Hart working on Warner, drives baseline, throws up the runner, no, and a foul. Rayleigh Warner is going to be called for the personal. That's her second, and Micah Hart starting to get rolling. We anticipated it coming. She goes to shoot 2, and still Reese Beatty not being ball dominant. Every time she has in this game, they've done great. When she has it, it's been tough.
Well, a difference, especially to start out this second half and at the end of the first half as well, as Gibson County's the first free throw falls for Micah Hart at the line. They are sending Akira Writing on Reese Beatty, and she's not leaving her. She is sticking on her the whole time. She's essentially face guarding her everywhere she is on the court. And what Coach Wilkins is doing, he's saying, all right, you other players, you can go beat us.
2 for 2, and now all of a sudden it's a 5-0 Micah Hart sparked run. Make it 6-0 on another free throw for Reeves, so 6 straight to open up the half. A little opposite day as Beatty drives in, skies up in the mid-range, good. There she is, Reese Beatty touches the basketball, she's got 15.
She had the defender on her back, just made one cut to the left, ran back to the right, and immediately jumped up in the air and was able to knock it down.
Hart brings it across the timeline here. Works away from a screen. Pyle steps up towards her. Now Hart fires into the low block. Reeves pivots on Gibson. A great move, and she finishes off the glass for 2.
Yeah, it's a kind of a mismatch in there with the freshman. And for York, defensively, really good in the first half. Not so good to start out this second half so far.
Yeah, no, they're struggling on that end of the floor right now in a major way, especially with Emma Cooper on the bench. Franklin with it. It's still just a 2-point game. Pyle's wide open. Little shot fake back to Beatty. Beatty works on a screen, drives in. Reese Beatty floats back. Hart now defending. Finds Pyle. Baseline pass is tipped and intercepted. Turner comes away. Here comes Gibson County on a run. Turner back off Riding. Riding doesn't put up the 3, instead puts the dribble down. I wonder if Coach Green's going to have to go as that pass is off the mark, out of play. A lucky break. It goes back to York. Going to have to go to Emma Cooper, even with 3 fouls at some point. Annabeth Dunford checking in for Emma Pyle.
Yeah, Emma Pyle struggled passing the basketball today. 3 different turnovers just on errant passes, and maybe not the right decision at the time with a few defenders in front of her. She's going to get pulled out here, and Annabeth Dunford has given some pretty good minutes trying to run the offense, and now Reese Beatty is going to bring it ahead. We'll try to get some points on the board for the Dragonettes.
York is shooting just 15% from three-point land. They've only attempted 2 free throws to Gibson County's 11. Gibson County trying to get it inside. Now a swipe by Hart and a foul as Micah Hart got called for the personal. You got away with 1. The second one down will get the foul. It's the first team foul going against Gibson County.
Yeah, second foul on Hart as well. So
kind of on the edge of being interesting. If she picks up 1 more, it gets very interesting. Warner's got to be careful. She's nearly carrying the ball. Sends over left side for Gibson. Gibson. Eyes up the whole way. Fires Callie Franklin. Franklin right side Rayleigh Warner. Warner
They've got Reeves on Beatty right now. Now they switched off.
Warner against Hart. Crosses over and drives. Rayleigh Warner reverse pass. That one's tipped, but Warner able to go back and get it, and a foul. This one going to be called on Sanaya Reeves. Her second, team's third. 3:45 to go in the third. A 4-point halftime lead for York has turned into a 2-point third quarter deficit.
Now, offensively, haven't been able to get it going. They struggled a little bit in the first half outside of Reese Beatty, so they're trying some new things here in the second half so far.
Warner to Dunford. Now another pass is just telegraphed. Intercepted by Riding, and here comes Akira Riding with all that speed. Drives in, puts it up, good for two. Too many turnovers for the Dragonettes as the passes are becoming very clear where they're going, and Gibson County is making them pay.
And that's the first points off of turnovers for Gibson County. Didn't have any in the first half. Now finally gets them to go.
Rayleigh Warner guarded by Riding. She's a great defender. Warner, another pass that was tipped. Saved it from going out of bounds, and now Beatty comes away. Beatty in the mid-range. Fadeaway jumper, no. Rebound down. Riding with it. York has no answer for Gibson County as they trail by 4. Here comes Riding. She fires it inside Lanham. Tripped up, Dunford gets back to her feet. Reverse pass back to Turner. Now Hart in the mid-range. That one nearly swiped by Warner. She's double-teamed by Warner and Beatty. Turner with it now. She reverses left side Riding. She lines up the three. It's off the mark. No good. Dunford with a great box out. Annabeth Dunford with a rebound. Now here's Reese Beatty. York's got to go, but they're slowing down a little bit. Beatty ups the tempo into the half court. Kicks over wide open. Rayleigh Warner for 3. No good. Rebound down. Fought for. Grabbed by Sanaya Reeves.
Yeah, they need one of those shots to fall. They're now 2 of 16, make it 14 from downtown.
Gibson County fans applauding behind us here. 2:22 to go. It's a 4-point game here in the third quarter. Flip pass out, Micah Hart wide open, deep 3. No. That's a big miss. This place would have gone electric if it had fallen through. Here's Reese Beatty. Little bump, we play on.
Had numbers for a second, but it was a nice job by Hart stepping in front, not allowing them to have the numbers.
Now Franklin, wide open 3. No good. That one ricocheted right off the front of the rim. Stepping through, Lanham sends to Turner. Numbers if they hurry. Turner now slows up on the left wing, gives back as there goes Emma Cooper and Emma Pyle. They simply need them in the game right now. York totally stagnant on the offensive end. There's the drive for Hart. Loses her foot somehow. Tiptoes to stay up. Step back jumper. That's crazy. No good. What play, though, from Micah Hart despite the miss.
That was really good defense by Rayleigh Warner, too.
Now here's Warner in transition. This may be the key. She steps through, puts it up. No. York doesn't love to go fast as a foul is called, but they're going to have to go fast because the half-court defense for Gibson County too good. The foul is called here.
Annabeth
Dunford picks up her second, team's third, and Coach Michael Green wants timeout here with 1:30 to go in the third quarter. Full timeout on the floor, so we'll take it with them and be back in 30 seconds. Don't go anywhere.
The Race TN Series is coming to Cookeville on March 23rd. See the best indoor and ATV motorcycle racing on the dirt at the Heidelbergs Ag Center with practice starting at 2 and main heat starting at 6. Pit passes are just $20, so make your plans now. Want in on the action? Pre-register at racetnseries.com. That's racetnseries.com. For more information, visit Race TN Series on Facebook and Instagram. The most exciting ATV and motorcycle racing goes down on March 23rd at the Heidelbergs Ag Center for the first time ever. Don't miss it.
York being outscored 10-2 in this third quarter. They trail by 4, 23-19 with 1 minute, 30 seconds to go in the frame. Jacob Vincent still just a 4-point game, but right now York getting nothing on offense, and let's just call a spade a spade. Reese Beatty is not touching the basketball enough for the Dragonettes.
Yeah, she's had just a couple of shots here in the quarter so far. They've only got 1 bucket from Reese Beatty, really struggling offensively. They're trying to hit shots from outside now. Emma Pyle and Emma Cooper are inserted back into the lineup. They both have to be careful. 90 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Emma Cooper does have 3 fouls. Again, she fouled out yesterday in the quarterfinals, ended up not hurting them, but they need her inside and her shooting ability and her size as well.
Full court press time here for York as they flip it ahead for Lanham. Lanham with the defense chasing, jump stops, now pivots, able to spin it left side. There's Reeves. Reeves lost it off her foot, out of play, and it'll go to York. Got him sped up a little bit. Dragonettes with an opportunity with 1:18 to go in the third.
Yeah, just that change of defense and just switch it up a little bit. You get the basketball back, and that's the thing. You're only down by 4 points. You can go on a 6-0 run and take the lead.
Warner crosses the timeline here with it again. Reese Beatty not running the point. Warner tries to split the defense, lost handle, and it is a turnover. It goes back the other way to Gibson County. Ahead goes Micah Hart. Hart now with 2 defenders on her, flips ahead And Riding establishes in the half court. Flip pass across to Reeves. Puts up the shot and the foul, and it's Emma Pyle's third. Sanaya Reeves to the line to shoot 2.
I think it was pretty good defense as well. She was trying to stay straight up, but her body was moving into the offender with the basketball, and so Reeves is going to have a couple of free throws with 50 seconds to play here in the quarter.
Sanaya Reeves at the stripe to shoot 2 and try to stretch the lead. So Pyle with 3, Cooper with 3. Beatty doesn't have any. First free throw for Reeves, nothing but net. Just 2 points in the quarter for York. It's the exact opposite of what happened a day ago when they had the huge third quarter against McMinn Central and came back. 2 for 2 for Reeves.
It's now 12-2 in the third quarter in favor of Gibson County. Only leading by 6, though, so a chance for York to get a bucket here, cut it to a possession with 44 seconds.
Largest lead of the game for Gibson County. Emma Pyle bounces for Cooper. Cooper now back to Rayleigh Warner. Trying to get Beatty inside. Pyle's wide open for 3, and it goes. Nothing but net, a big one. Birdie's Lounge 3 for Emma Pyle.
Massive 3 for Emma Pyle. She had missed quite a few of them early on. The Dragonettes have missed a few of them early on.
And here comes the press. Riding trying to break it. She does so nicely for now. Still being chased. Warner stride for stride. Riding throws up the shot. No. Rebound down. Reeves got it. The putback, no. Warner with the board. 13 seconds. Here comes York looking to maybe tie into the final frame. Warner working against Riding. 6 seconds. Warner. 3 seconds. Warner over to Beatty. 2 seconds. They got to shoot it. Beatty does. This would count, even though it was late, but it's no good. Not a great look for York, but ladies and gentlemen, get your popcorn ready. After 3, it's Gibson County 25, York 22. Spot in the state championship game on the line. Coverage of this game presented by Faith Baptist Tabernacle. You're listening to it on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network.
How many letters?
5 letters.
Just think about, what am I doing right now?
Smile. Smile?
Uh-huh.
This is so easy.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Visit swallowsinsurance.com or call us today, 931-526-4025. Protecting your future. It's what we do.
Faith Baptist Tabernacle in Jamestown is our presenting sponsor tonight. They care about our community, and they care about the York Dragonettes. 25-22, York trails with 1 quarter to go here in the Murphy Center with a trip to the state title game on the line. They've ratcheted up the pressure here as Maya Turner has it for Gibson County, working right to left as we get rolling here. Now here comes the trap on Riding. She gets it over to Turner. Turner now into Reeves. Over right side Lanham. Lanham gets to the spot. No. Rebound tipped. Saved in by Beatty, but it went right to Reeves, who is fouled. And Emma Cooper picks up her 4th. Sanaya Reeves back to the line to shoot 2. This will be the 14th and 15th free throws for Gibson County. York has 2 tonight.
Yeah, and for Emma Pyle, she very easily could have picked up her 4th foul. Instead, Emma Cooper picks up her 4th, and it's a nice save by Beatty, just right back into Reeves, who's able to knock down the first free throw.
First one good, back to a 2-possession game, 26-22. York with just 5 points in this third quarter, a 3 for Emma Pyle and a 2 for Reese Beatty, who has not touched the ball very much tonight in the grand scheme of things. Now she is going to run the point. Never mind. Sends left side for Rayleigh Warner.
And Gibson County did this yesterday. They won by 9 points. They were 19 of 25 from the free throw line in that game as well.
They pounded inside. Cooper with 4 fouls. Drives, throws up the runner. Good. And a block. Count it. Emma Cooper finishes and will go to the line. There was a nervous moment as if it was going to be a charge, but it's not. Count the bucket. That one goes on Georgia Lanham, who got in the landing area. We saw that miss called in the Pickett game. It's called right here, and Cooper to the line to try to complete a 3-point play. And the assistant for York just stood up. 2 coaches standing. Can't do that. 7:28 to go in the game. So a bench warning going to be issued here to the Dragonettes.
What a drive there by Emma Cooper. That's her first bucket of the ball game as well.
free throw is no good. Long rebound. Beatty tries to run it down, but Lanham has it, and they have numbers if they hurry. Turner slowed up by the press. Cooper's got to be careful with 4 fouls chasing. Now Turner sends over to Reeves, throws it up, no good. Rebound tipped down, and Rayleigh Warner has it and able to wrestle it away. Warner double teamed in the backcourt. Sends it ahead looking for Cooper. It's a foot race for it. Franklin comes out to assist. Franklin, Gibson County ratcheting up the pressure. Cooper drives in again and is fouled. Emma Cooper returning to the Guffey Law free throw line to shoot 2 here. She just missed 1, but she could cut the deficit to 1.
Well, the big thing here for the Dragonettes is, they've only shot 3 free throws, but they've only made 1 of them. They're 1 of 3 right now. You need a couple of good makes here in a 3-point ball game to cut the lead to 1, just 1 minute into this final frame.
First one is no good. 2 straight misses at the line for York. Cooper looking to make the second. We're 59 seconds into the final quarter. Free throws huge. We talk about it all year long, and it rears its ugly head here in the Glass House. Cooper flies away the second. That one is good. Back to full court press for the Dragonettes. Inbounds pass right side, now back to her. Turner trying to solve it, sends it to Riding. Little bump, we play on. Riding. Left-handed dribble over to Reeves. Sanaya Reeves going to drive inside and a foul for a bump. Emma Pyle has 4. So Cooper and Pyle both with 4 apiece. It's the game plan for Gibson County is to get inside and get to the line. This time they call the foul on the floor. So a slight break for York, but 2 starters. Somebody's going to foul out of this game here soon.
Yeah, still 6:49 to play as well. They got to be really careful.
Reeves, and now you got to be careful playing defense, and they know it. They fire into the low block, turnaround shot, and there it is. Cooper picks up her 5th. She didn't go straight up, started to bend those hands over, so it's an automatic call and a trip to the line for Georgia Lanham to shoot 2.
So second straight game that Emma Cooper is going to foul out, and this one comes with 6:43 remaining in the contest. Just couldn't stay out of foul trouble. She tried to stay straight up, but she was not straight up. Her hands were outstretched. And so Coach Green is going to take a little bit of a second here. You get a little bit of time whenever a player fouls out, and Zoe Gibson is going to come in. She's going to have some big minutes here at the end of this ball game. A freshman checking in for the York Institute Dragonettes.
So Cooper's day is done, and Lanham's going to shoot 2 to try to regain a multi-possession lead. First one is up, and it is good. They've been good at the free throw line tonight. Now 13 of 16. Next one up, good as well. 2 for 2 at the line. Back to a 4-point game. Beatty gives off to Warner left side. Reese Beatty goes to the low block. Franklin with it right side. Beatty flashes up. Now Warner on the right wing. Warner spins it back to Callie Franklin. Extra feed to Pyle. Wide open. Emma Pyle for 3. No good, in and out. Rebound down. Micah Hart with it. Hart with Beatty giving chase. Now Micah Hart sets up into the corner. The trap arrives. Hart able to escape it. Reeves, nice reverse feed over to Turner. Turner drives, throws up the shot. No. Rebound down. Fought for the tie-up. And the possession arrow belongs to York with 6:08 to go in the ball game.
Yeah, good job by Rayleigh Warner getting in there for it. And for York Institute, you feel okay right now. Again, you're only down by 4 points. You need to put a couple of good possessions together. Plenty of time to go in this ball game. 6:08 to play.
I don't get it, Jacob. I don't get it. Reese Beatty not running the point again. I don't get it at all. 6 minutes to go in the ball game. They send over left side to Pyle. Back to Warner. Warner, right side. Gibson puts the dribble down, steps through. Now back to Pyle in the corner. Pyle flips back Gibson. Open 3. Gibson has to trigger it. No good. Couldn't get the roll. Rebounded again by Hart. Now bringing it up. Here's Riding. Riding. Down into the baseline. Gets free into the mid-range. Puts it up. No good. Blocked by Beatty. Tipped out of play, and it's going to York. Reese Beatty gets it done inside, and she is barking orders at her teammates. They're trying to get her the ball away from it as she flashes over on this half court, but nobody's getting that pass to her, and she wants the basketball. She goes over to her coach and says, come on now, 5:25 to go. She's earned the cred to do that. 29-25, Warner crosses the timeline. Now Franklin, right side Gibson. Gibson, gonna bring it back out. Now she does get it to Beatty. Beatty double team. Works away from it to the left side. Beatty sends it ahead to Pyle. Open in the corner, Rayleigh Warner. Defense arrives as Warner puts the dribble down. Baseline drive, Warner. Nice feed to Franklin. Franklin drives, throws up the shot. No good. Missed it short. Rebound down. Gibson County with it. Lady Pioneers trying to break the press. Now Hart fires over to Riding. 4:49 to go. York trails by 4. They got to force some turnovers. There's Hart. Hart working away from a double team. Right side. Sends it ahead. Now reverse feed to Riding. They're in kill the clock mode now, unless they can get a wide open look. Turner, wide open. There it is. Across the feed to Lanham for an easy 2.
It's their first field goal of the fourth quarter, and a timeout on the floor taken by York as well.
Timeout called by Michael Green. Gives us an opportunity to tell you that the Race TN Series is coming to Cookeville for the first time ever to open up their season on March 23rd. Pit passes at just $20. General admission for $10. A great way to spend a Saturday night. The best ATV and motorcycle racing coming to the Upper Cumberland. The series begins March 23rd at the Heidelberg's Ag Center in Cookeville. Right now, 31-25, still a 2-possession game, but York's offense has done nothing in the second half.
Well, and Gibson County came in with a size advantage inside, and they are exploiting that so far. They had the offensive rebounds in the first half. They're trying to continue that here in the second half as well. They're out-rebounding York 26-21, but even bigger than that, Gibson County is getting to the line, and they are 14 of 17 from the free throw line. They have 14 of their 31 points. Almost half of their points have come from the free throw line. They've got a 6-point advantage. That was just their first field goal of the fourth quarter as they started the quarter 4 of 4 from the stripe.
If York wants to go to the state championship game, Reese Beatty's got to start controlling this basketball.
Yeah. She's only got 2 points in the second half.
She's just got to touch the ball more. She's barely touched it in the grand scheme of things at all in this entire second half. Credit to Gibson County. They're shielding, but she's not bringing the ball up the floor right now, which is a great way to keep it in her hands, and they're not going to start with her bringing it up the floor here. Rayleigh Warner, a very capable point guard. Reese Beatty's the best player in this tournament. Warner going to cross the timeline here. Beatty's on the low block, guarded by Sanaya Reeves. Warner sends left side Gibson. Now Pyle open in the corner, fires into the low block, and a foul. Reaching around Lanham, that's her third, trying to get it to Beatty in that low block.
It's going to be the team's third foul as well, so 4:14 to play here in the quarter, and you get that foul count up there, you'll have some chance for some free throws.
York's been called for 3, Gibson County called for 3 as well. Beneath the baseline, Beatty's going to inbound it here. She fires into Pyle, flashed off a screen, the 3 is blocked by Micah Hart, but a foul. As they'll say, she hit the landing zone. It wasn't on the block, it was on the landing. And despite the block, Emma Pyle gets 3 at the Guffey Law free throw line, much to the chagrin of our friends from Gibson County.
Yeah, Coach Wilkins not too sure about that one either, but instead it's going to send Emma Pyle to the line for 3 shots. And that is the 3rd foul on Micah Hart and the team's 4th foul on Gibson County with 4:12 to play. These are massive free throws for Pyle, to say the least.
They've struggled at the line tonight, but Emma Pyle makes her first attempt. Nothing but net on that one. Down to a 5-point game. Emma Pyle, just a sophomore, trying to come up big. The next one is up, and it is good. 2 for 2 at the line now. She gets 1 more after being fouled on a 3-point attempt by Micah Hart, which, by the way, that's her 3rd. Could get interesting. Pyle's 3rd one. She got it. Clutch. 3 for 3 for Emma Pyle. 4:12 to go in the game. Here comes the press again. Emma Cooper has fouled out so far, and Emma Pyle is playing with 4. Warner tries to cut off Turner. Turner in the half court. It's poked by Franklin. Now diving for it is Beatty. Turner still has it. Gets it back to Micah Hart. Hart goes to work with a screen from Lanham. Here comes the trap. Right side. Gives off to Riding. 3:50 to go. Coach Green says, let's go with the trap. They bring it. Lanham with it now. Lanham, back left side, Turner. Fires into the low block. Working on Gibson. Turnaround shot, good for Sanaya Reeves.
She switched her pivot feet.
They don't call it. It's a 5-point game. Here comes Beatty now. She does run the point. Bounces left side, Pyle. Back to Reese Beatty. Warner right wing side. Rayleigh Warner, now Emma Cooper. Going to line up the deep 3. Pyle, no good. Rebound down, and it ricocheted a couple of times. Sanaya Reeves runs it down. York backs against the wall. 3:17 to go, trailing by 5. Flip pass across to Turner. Turner now fires into the low block. Shot and a foul. Reese Beatty got her money's worth. Sanaya Reeves will go to the line to shoot 2 on the first personal against Reese Beatty. 3:10 to go.
That's a really good foul because it was going to be a wide open layup for Reeves. Instead, you're going to make it earn it at the line, which she has been really good at the line. And a timeout's going to be called on the floor.
Michael Green calls timeout. Our friends at Buckeye Home Medical Equipment with a home office in Jamestown. I want to wish good luck to the Dragonettes in this basketball game, and congratulations on a great season to this point. Visit whybuckeye.com for more information today. 3:10 to go in the ball game. It's 33-28, Jacob, and 2 free throws coming for Sanaya Reeves, the story of the game. They've been getting it inside to the line and converting over and over and over again.
17 free throw attempts on the night. They've got 14 of those being makes, and Sanaya Reeves has been really good. 5 of 6 from the line. She's also got 8 rebounds. Has been a key factor in this ball game. Micah Hart hasn't had her best ball game. Has missed a few shots. She's 2 of 10 from the floor. She is only 1 of 3 from downtown, but she is 2 of 2 from the free throw line, and that is where they've been making their money, getting to the line, and that's why they have the 5-point advantage right now. If for York, if they were able to not foul as much, they'd have a lead in this game. Instead, it's that size advantage leading to some of the fouls called on York and free throws as well. It's a very good free throw shooting team.
2 free throws coming for Sanaya Reeves out of the break. Reese Beatty has just 2 points in the second half. She hasn't had many looks. She hasn't touched the ball very much in this second half. It just is what it is. 3:10 to go in the game. She hasn't had an opportunity with the basketball in her hands on the offensive end.
Yeah, they're going to need to get her the basketball. There's plenty of time.
Yes.
Even with a couple of makes here, it's 3:10 to play. You go down and get a bucket, but Reese Beatty has to handle this basketball. She had 33 points yesterday against a very good McMinn Central team. Yes, this is a good defensive ball club in Gibson County. Reese Beatty's a better player.
First free throw up for Reeves out of the timeout, and the icing the kicker, so to speak, works as it's no good off the back iron. Both teams in the bonus on every defensive foul. There's free throws. Next one for Reeves is up. No good, 0 for 2. Rebound down to Franklin. Break for York and an opportunity to cut it back to 1 possession. Warner runs the point across the timeline. Works off the crossover against Hart. Drives, throws up the runner, nowhere close. Rebound down and an opportunity the other way for Gibson County. Now, Riding, trying to work away from Warner and Beatty. Riding in the corner. Floats back out for Micah Hart. Flips back to Riding. 2:45 to go. Now Reeves in the corner. Reverses back to Hart. Lines up the 3. Could be the dagger, but it's no good. Franklin with a big rebound. Here's Beatty now bringing it up. Reese Beatty going coast to coast. Beatty activates into the teeth. Reese Beatty, good for 2. Finally got a look, and she makes it count. It's a 3-point game.
2:28 to go. Big bucket and a steal.
A steal for Emma Pyle. Pyle drives in, throws it up with the left hand. No. Rayleigh Warner, though, with a rebound. Big board. Warner hit inside and no call. Micah Hart. And now on the other end, a collision and a block caught on York. Micah Hart just hacked Rayleigh Warner on the rebound attempt. Callie Franklin got trucked, and she got called for a block. 2 free throws coming here for Gibson County. Horrific on the other end.
Yeah, Rayleigh Warner was trying to get the pass out on the wing to Zoe Gibson, and she couldn't do it because she was getting hacked across the arm. They let it go. Callie Franklin tries to get back and take a charge. It was a blocking foul, but they missed the previous one, and now it's 2 free throws for Micah Hart.
And the first one is good. My goodness. Getting just shellacked underneath the basket was Rayleigh Warner with no call.
Yeah, that's a huge no call.
That is poor. Free throw up for Hart is good. In and out, got the shooter's roll. Back to a 5-point game, and Reese Beatty says roll it, and I'm taking the basketball. Hart going to make her pick it up. Beatty does. Still plenty of time, but it's getting late. Beatty, one-on-one. Works past the defender. Mid-range jumper up, and it's good. Reese Beatty with 2 more. She's gone ball dominant, and it's working for York. Inbound pass comes to Riding. Franklin there defensively. Flip pass over. Here's Turner. Turner looking back as Warner gives chase. Rayleigh Warner, a sensational defender in the half court. Riding picks up the dribble. Here comes the trap. Bounces over to Hart. Hart now double teamed, and a timeout called by Coach Wilkins. 1:44 to go. It's a 1-possession game, and Reese Beatty starting to get it rolling here for York.
Well, yeah, we've been saying it for the whole second half. Give the basketball to number 1 as a full timeout is called by Gibson County. You give it to Reese Beatty, she's going to go score the basketball, and that's exactly what she's done on the last 2 times that she has touched it. She's got to the mid-range, and you can't guard her in the mid-range. She's going to get past that primary defender. The help side can't get there in time. She rises up and knocks it down from the free throw line. It's unguardable when she gets to that spot. It's now a 1-possession game. You have to get a stop here if you are York. 1:44 to go. You get a stop, and you feel really good about your chances in this game. If you give up a bucket, it gets a little bit slimmer.
1:44 to go in the ball game. It's Gibson County basketball. The possession arrow belongs to them. Both teams are in the bonus. The Lady Pioneers have 3 timeouts remaining. Dragonettes with 2. Emma Pyle, the lone player left in significant foul trouble. She has 4. Emma Cooper has already fouled out of the game earlier on in this fourth quarter. Reese Beatty, now starting to be the point guard, has started to rein them in. 4 straight points for York as they're within a possession, and they will be selling out to try and turn over this Gibson County squad.
And they haven't turned it over too many times, just 9 turnovers on the day so far. York only 7 points off those 9 turnovers.
Inbounds coming from next to the Gibson County sideline. Running out of time, Turner does get it into Lanham. That's who they want to foul. But they wait. They're trying to trap. Here it comes. Lanham with it now outside the arc. Lanham.
They're helping off of Lanham is what they're doing.
Now sends back over to Riding. Pyle cannot be the one to foul. If they do, dangerous pass, but Turner goes to grab. Now bounces back to Riding. Hart open on the left wing, has it. 1:25 to go. Still time to try and force a steal. You're going to have to play the foul game eventually. Hart now works into a triple team, finds Reeves. Reeves with a nice outlet pass back to Turner.
Now I think
Pyle
you start
steps out to
thinking about
Turner.
it.
Yeah, just can't be Emma Pyle. Pass over right side. Reese Beatty only has 1 foul. Reeves to Lanham. Lanham turns inside, gets free, up and good for 2. Nice job working through the pressure by Gibson County. They lead by 5 as we hit 1 minute to play. Rayleigh Warner now in the half court. Kicks over to Gibson. Gibson in the corner, open. Triggers the 3, no good. Rebound down, tipped out of play, and it goes to the Lady Pioneers. 51.5 seconds to go. It was a great look. York just can't buy a 3 today.
Yeah, they've struggled from outside. 3 of 19 from
Inbound,
downtown.
stolen by Franklin. She saves it into Warner, who drives, is fouled, and 1! Rayleigh Warner with a sensational finish. Her first points of the night, and a tremendous steal by Callie Franklin set it up.
And the foul was called on Micah Hart as well. Her 4th foul. It is the team's 5th, so it's 1 free throw, and York is in the bonus. 47 seconds to play in this to make it a 2-point game.
This would be huge because it puts pressure on the free throws on the other end. Rayleigh Warner setting up after a ridiculous finish. Free throw, got it. Clutch for Warner. York's within 2. 47 seconds to go. Inbound, bounces in Riding. She's double teamed, gets over to Turner. Turner now splits the defense, gonna drive all the way, poked from behind by Warner. She's got another steal. Rayleigh Warner to Beatty. 2-point game, here comes Reese. Numbers if they hurry, she slows it down instead. 34 seconds for Reese Beatty. Brings it left side. Beatty picks up the dribble. In some trouble, reverses to Warner. 26 seconds. There's the drive, the shot. No. Rebounded by Hart. Fight for it. Trying to foul. There it is. Gibson commits it. York had a good look with Rayleigh Warner inside, just didn't fall. And now the Miss Basketball finalist, Micah Hart. She's 4 for 4 today. Goes back to the line to shoot 2. The foul goes on Zoe Gibson. Just her first. Hart with 18.7. If she makes them both, the math becomes very difficult for York. They still have 2 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, they need a miss.
She's usually ice water. The first one is good. Spun around and fell through. York trying to show resilience, and now you're going to have the icing the kicker again as Coach Green calls timeout here with 18.7 seconds to go.
But again, it was a good drive by Rayleigh Warner. Reese Beatty was standing on that left wing, and especially in a game when it's coming down to the wire with 30 seconds to play, you're down by 2. You want to give it to Reese Beatty to try to get a bucket either in the mid-range or a 3-point bucket as well. This one just a 30-second timeout. York thought it was a full timeout call as they're sitting down. 18 seconds to play. You need a miss here. If you don't get a miss, it's okay, but you got to hurry. 18 seconds is still plenty of time. You got to get down the floor quickly. You do not need a 3. You can take it inside and maybe get fouled.
Number 1, driving inside and trying to get an and 1. That's the play. There's no other play right now for York. If they make this free throw, it's got to be Beatty going coast to coast for 2 and potentially 3. Unless you get a wide open dump off the other side, make them foul you. Worst case, you could go to the line with Reese Beatty shooting 2. Micah Hart, 18.7 seconds. The second free throw coming up. Here we go. Hart, couple of dribbles, flies it away. No good, missed it. Beatty with the rebound, 3-point game. Working away from a double team, will they foul?
She's in a quadruple
Wide
team.
open on the other end, Pyle kicks to Warner, back to Pyle. Beatty now 10 seconds, calling for the screen. Beatty steps back, 3, no. Rebound down, tipped, Reeves has it, 2 seconds, and that will do it. Gibson County wins in dramatic fashion. Final score, Lady Pioneers 38, Dragonettes 35. It was a probably 40-foot look for Reese Beatty that was better than it had any right to be. missed off the left side of the rim, and a rebound for Gibson County. They drain the clock, and the Lady Pioneers advance on.
What a win by Gibson County. York Institute, what an absolute ball game. Trailing late in it, battled back, and had a chance at the end. But York's great season comes to a close in the semifinals. Gibson County moving on to the championship game. Very formidable ball club in Gibson County. You can't hang your hats whatsoever if you're York Institute. And I tell you what as well, don't forget, for York Institute, there are 0 seniors on this team. Everybody returns next year.
We welcome you to the Bilberry Entertainment post-game show as York's season comes to an end in the semifinal round. 38-35, we figured it would be a defensive war, Jacob Vincent. It certainly was. Was it perfect for York? No, but they gave it their best shot, one of their best shots today, and Gibson County able to come out with the win. The size inside of Gibson County, especially once Emma Cooper fouled out of the game, just was the single biggest difference in this ball game tonight.
It was a huge factor. I mean, they had a ton of offensive rebounds in that first half. They continued it in the second half as well, and for York, they struggled with that in a couple of games here in the state tournament where those offensive rebounds, they gave up 10 in this one today. That was better in the second half because they gave up 7 of those in the first half, but for York, they just struggled against that size. Emma Cooper fouled out in the quarterfinals, fouls out with 6 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter of this one as well. And then defensively, I mean, we knew Gibson County was really good defensively. They played really well. Even when they were down by 4 points, they didn't fret. Same thing that we saw from York yesterday. You knew it was going to be a ball game in the second half. Did a good job, and they saw the advantage. They had the size, they drove it to the basket, they got fouls called, and they were able to knock down free throws.
Scoring from the game is as follows as York's season comes to an end with a record of 27 victories and 6 losses. It was 19 points for Reese Beatty to pace the way, 6 for Emma Pyle, 3 for Rayleigh Warner and Emma Cooper, and 2 for Zoe Gibson, for a team total of 35. Fidelsa Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game, I think we're in agreement, Sanaya Reeves for Gibson County. But York's season comes to an end in the semifinal round, one of the final 4 teams left standing here in this 2A classification. And it was just a defensive nip-and-tuck battle throughout, a bit of a slow third quarter, and that was enough for Gibson County to overcome and to win this semifinal game.
Yeah, Sanaya Reeves was really big, and especially when Micah Hart is 2 of 11 from the floor, the Miss Basketball finalist, did finish with 10 points because she was 5 of 6 from the line, really struggling to shoot the basketball. But for Gibson County, they didn't really have to run a whole lot of offense in that second half. They were able to get it inside, get to the free throw line, and then once they got to the lead, they were able to run the clock down. And a credit to York. I mean, what an absolute, especially ending. They go down by 5 points, a steal, the bucket by Rayleigh Warner to hit the free throw, and at least give yourselves a chance at the end of the ball game. A good look by Reese Beatty as well. You said it really had no reason to be that close of a shot, but it's Reese Beatty. She made it that close, and it looked like it was going in from our angle. It just missed, and otherwise we'd have been going to overtime for the second straight time. But York, there's nothing to hang their heads about. They played a really good game. That's a really good Gibson County ball club, and they're going to be back here next year.
They certainly have as good a chance as anybody to be back here next year, and even better with a bit more experience under their belt. Once again, your final score tonight, York Institute falls in the semifinal round. Their season comes to an end, 38-35. Gibson County will face the winner of Gatlinburg, Pittman, and Loretto tomorrow night in the Class 2A state championship game. We've got much more coverage coming to UpperCumberlandReporter.com from this game, and of course, one more game involving an Upper Cumberland team later on tonight. The nightcap, Class 3A semifinal matchup as the Upperman Lady Bees take on the South Gibson Lady Hornets. All the action set to begin at approximately 8:45 p.m. Back here live on the UCR Facebook page and YouTube channel, presented by Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate. Well, that'll do it for this year of York Institute basketball. Faith Baptist Tabernacle, we certainly appreciate them for being the presenting sponsor. Beatty Lumber in the regular season, the presenting sponsor all year long. All of our sponsors that you've heard from: Bilberry Entertainment, Hall Sports and Outdoors, and Hall Family Pharmacy, Guffey Law, Lefeview Excavating and Lawn Care, and everybody else who is a part of the York Institute live streams this year. We certainly appreciate that. It would not happen without our sponsors. It would not happen without these awesome basketball players. What a great team this year for the York Dragonettes as they fall in the Final Four of the state tournament, one of only the couple of teams left standing here in this classification and playing 1 day short of the final day of the basketball season. If you've been with us all year, if you've been with us just today, we appreciate. We sure hope you'll join us again later on tonight. Once again, 8:45 p.m. approximate tip-off as the Lady Bees take on the Lady Hornets. And tomorrow we'll have coverage of the Class Single A state championship game as Moore County takes on Pickett County at 2:30 right here, back live on the Facebook page and YouTube channel. 3:30. My apologies. 3:30. That's right. 4A first, and then at 3:30 the Single A state title game. As we say so long. Final score once again: Gibson County 38, York 35. I'm Noah McKay. For Jacob Benson to my right, Madison McKay to my left, and everybody at UCR. Have a great day, everybody.